Voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Hello and welcome to a very different version of a WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Rock Jones and
Sean Randy Smith. And so you're wondering, why is this a different show than usual?
well, that would be because we are going to be reviewing the film Fighting with My Family, which is based around the early career of WWE superstar Paige,
Which was executively produced by Reese the Rock Jones himself.
aka Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock.
So, when did you go and see Fighting with My Family?
I went and saw Fighting with My Family on the day of its release in the UK, which was the 27th of February,
And I saw it on Sunday.
which would have been the 3rd of March.
Correct?
So, to sum this up, this film stars Florence Pugh as Paige outside of the wrestling scenes, which were done by Tessa Blanchard.
Correct. Formerly of Impact Wrestling.
Jack Lowden stars as Paige's brother, Zack Knight.
Correct.
The usually comic actor Nick Frost stars as the father, Patrick Rowdy Ricky Knight.
And
Then we have Lena Headey as the mother's Julia Sweet Soraya Knight. Of course, we have The Rock, aka Dwayne Johnson, appearing as himself.
correct.
In a side less role, we have James Browns as Roy Knight, who's Paige's older half-brother. And even the director of this film, which were Stephen Merchant had a cameo appearance as the father of Zach's partner.
So we'll give you now our thoughts of Fighting With My Family.
Well, to put it,
Fact one.
this was a very interesting film, classic film that we've seen several times with different sporting events. I mean, we've seen films like this in football and various other sports. So as we go through this, let's start with how it happened. The film opens up in the year 2000 with a 10-year-old Zack Knight watching the 2000 King of the Ring pay-per-view, which was saw The Rock win the WWF then championship in a 6-man tag team match. And then Paige comes in and switches the channel to Charmed, which reportedly, I'm not sure whether this is true in real life or not, is where she got the in-ring name Charmed from.
And then in comes, then the two start fighting, only to be encouraged by Paige's dad.
Yes, I say, if you're gonna do it properly, do it like this.
Proper headlock and all.
So a few years later, and they're now 18 and both of them are wrestling and training in their family business.
Down in Norwich.
Their father is constantly trying to get auditions by sending tapes to WWE.
And they keep coming back with the same result.
That we'll get back to you, we'll get back to you. Then, as we go along, they get a phone call from WWE saying that they would like to try out when SmackDown comes to the O2 Arena, as it does in May.
Correct, that's absolutely right.
And
so the two then travel down to the O2, where they bump into The Rock.
Yes, and after several conversations, The Rock goes into promo character to give them some advice. In a classic Rock promo style, it doesn't matter what your names are. Rejects, stick it right up your candy ass. Don't focus on being the first me, be the first you.
And then,
or the next me, I should say.
Then we get introduced to our new character, which is played by Vince Vaughn.
Yes, Vince Vaughn plays the NXT head trainer, which in real life at this time would have been Bill DeMont.
A name we dare not mention anymore. So Paige and her brother have the tryout, and then they have the result.
Interesting side note here, Pete Dunne is one of the wrestlers who are in this scene.
Oh yes, of course.
So, and it's a well-known story here that Paige gets chosen while Zack doesn't.
So Paige advances to the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, while her brother is stuck at home.
Which unfortunately does not sit well with Paige. They try to get them to take Zack as well. Unfortunately, they don't. So Paige goes off to Florida,
leaving her family and Zack behind.
Where she meets the other girls who, how do we describe this? Start out as what WWE did like 15 years ago, where it was all about blonde girls, models, dancers, who were
So they
basically,
didn't just care about their wrestling ability.
were basically there for their looks rather than their wrestling ability.
So let's just say Paige doesn't necessarily get along with them
In-
when she first arrives.
In the beginning, they start their training. They have a promo class where Paige freezes.
Yep, out
Well,
of fear and nervousness.
later on, she bleaches her hair blonde and gives herself a tan, which does not suit her, to try to make herself more appealing to what WWE used to do. Then back in England, Zack appears to be struggling with the idea that he's not going to get his dream of working with WWE.
And then when Paige's family promotion goes on to a match, this is what we call a non-scripted finish.
Yes, because when Paige came back for Christmas, they decided to do a match between Paige and Zack. Zack went completely off script and won the match. Paige was scheduled to win it.
Again, that is what we call a non-scripted finish.
In the heat of the moment, Zack tells his parents that Paige has decided she's not going to go back to Florida and gets into a bar fight.
Which was almost the same way that the trouble almost began.
Yes, and then Paige changes her mind and goes back to Florida with her normal appearance, saying how she wasn't cut and she's there.
Right.
Then we go back to Zack, who realizes his mistakes and goes back to training the students that they teach, including a blind wrestler, which is a very interesting concept.
Paige continues her NXT training, but she continues to bond with the two girls that she first met with.
Yes, after that they start to blonde, and then we go to the weekend that started it all, WrestleMania 30.
Yes, the site where The Undertaker lost his streak. But then, this is where our first actual fact of the show actually comes in regarding a certain character.
Well, first of all, Paige is seen backstage with a cameo from Sheamus and Big Show, the actual wrestlers.
There was also a cameo from Miz as well. And speaking of Miz, we'll be talking about him later on in our next show.
And then Paige is told to go into a certain room where she is met by The Rock. Now, here, I believe in real life, this is where The Rock told Paige that he was going to make a film about her and her journey. However, here, The Rock tells Paige that she is going to make her debut on Monday Night Raw the next night and challenge Selena Vega, AJ Lee, I mean.
Yes, because we all know the history between AJ Lee and WWE, so Selena Vega had to play AJ Lee. for this movie.
for the Divas Championship, and then they find out that Vince Vaughn's character Hutch Morgan jobbed to The Rock in the steel cage match years earlier, supposedly.
Supposedly, yeah. Then we fast forward to Cage's main roster debut.
We all know how this happened in real life. AJ Lee came out to the ring saying that she was the Divas division. Paige comes out to congratulate her, saying that she's not ready. Then AJ Lee makes the challenge. After a minute or so, she goes for the Black Widow, only to be countered into the Paige shot and pinned 1, 2, 3. Here, they make it. It's the same story, only they changed it slightly. With
and made it like an actual match.
Well, AJ Lee, Paige comes out, but is not to congratulate her. We don't see that.
No.
The challenge is made after a slap,
as it was in real life.
Because AJ Lee then goes on to say, "This is my house."
Yes, and then the bell is rung.
And then this match goes on a little bit longer and slightly differently. However, the ending scene is the same, with the Paige shot and a 3 count, making Paige the youngest Divas champion, and for Paige to cut the promo of "This is my house" now, which
whilst in real life she ran out of the ring to avoid being attacked by Tamina. And then this is where our little gags come in. When they filmed that scene between AJ Lee and Paige, it was during a present-day Monday Night Raw and stage.
Yes, it was through this film. You see, this was before the Performance Center was built, and in the old set of Monday Night Raw, so they have to change a few things.
Yes, and at the end of the film, during the credits, you can see actual footage of Paige and her family story in the side of the screen.
Yes, this film is based off the 2012 documentary of Fighting With My Family of the same name, and you can even see the real match between Paige and AJ Lee. We also have facts come up stating things like how Paige is still the youngest Divas, now women's champion in WWE, and really the person who's almost started the women's revolution.
Correct, they even mentioned that at the end of the movie.
They mentioned how the blind student became a wrestler.
Which is absolutely astonishing.
They also mentioned how The Rock has had a very successful career outside of the ring, to which when that comes up, I'm thinking, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
And they also mentioned that Paige's dad and Paige's mom are still saying that they still have shares available in their company.
Yeah, so overall, we've had a few films on wrestling, none of which have been that good, but this was a very simple story told.
Very simple story and simple plot.
And told. Simple story based on a true story, told very well. And like I said earlier, it's a classic live your dream sports story just with wrestling as a sport.
Yes. In overall opinion, fighting with my family, as I watched it on Saturday with my two wrestling friends, they obviously I enjoyed it very, very much. It was brilliant, very well done, and this goes up with the other wrestling film that I've watched called The Wrestler, and that was pretty good as well.
Yes,
It's not
but
just that.
but the wrestler isn't really an accurate description of the tough time that a professional wrestler is with. That's a slightly different type of film.
Yes, but overall, WWE Studios, you've done really, really well.
Yes, I would even argue that if you wanted to, you could go and see this, even if you're not a wrestling fan, and probably still enjoy it.
Yes, but it helps a lot if you're a wrestling fan.
Yes.
So, that about does it for our review of Fighting with My Family. Join us very, very shortly for Fastlane, and we are on the road to Fastlane.